Hello everyone. I am Grace Ho. 皆さんこんにちは。Grace Ho です。I'd like to talk with you about different types of Feng Shui. Here is my story. When I started studying Feng Shui in 1980s, I got confused because when I read one type of book, the author says, this is the Feng Shui, you have to do this and that. So I went out and bought those items. And then when I read the other book, then this author says, oh, no, this is the Feng Shui, and this is the way, and I use this and that. So I go out and buy those items. And eventually, I found my house full of Feng Shui items and products. Practically, my house looked like a souvenir shop in Chinatown. So I have to think, and I learned to classify those different Feng Shui approaches. So my point today is there are different types of Feng Shui style and Feng Shui approaches, and there's no right or wrong. And all you have to do is just know about it, and then when you pick up a book, you can identify which Feng Shui style that particular book author is using, or when you hire a Feng Shui consultant or practitioner, you can identify which style of Feng Shui your consultant is practicing. And most importantly, you need to know what type of Feng Shui you feel most comfortable with. So today's video is I'm going to briefly go over 3 major types of Feng Shui. Again, there are a number of theories and number of classifications. So this is my way of classification, and you can just take it as a reference and stay open to another authors and speakers. Okay, so having said that, let's start. In my classification, there are 3, right? The first one is called Black Hat. Second one is called Form Feng Shui. And the third one is called Compass Feng Shui. So I briefly go over one by one. The first type, Black Hat Feng Shui, that is called Black Hat because it was originated by a Chinese monks in deep mountain in Tibet or out there, and they wear black hat and a black costume. And you can usually identify them because they use salt to purify, and they use some grains. They might put the grains 4 corners of your space or house. And also, they like these items, the crystals. They might hang crystals from the ceiling in your room, or they like these another crystal bracelets. This is a tiger eye, and this is kind of quartz. So they like to use those items. And now the second type of Feng Shui, I call them form type of Feng Shui. Why form? Because they study the forms and the shapes of objects, and they associate that with each elements. And the elements I'll talk to you in other video also. But anyhow, so you can usually identify form people easily because they love dragon. When they say mountain, for example, the shape of mountain, they might say, oh, that's the back of dragon. And also, another easy way to identify form people, they use bagua. Many of you have seen this bagua. So they like to put bagua one wall of your house, inside or outside, because they said bagua will repel bad energy, protect you from bad energy, something like that. So that's the second type, form people. Now, the third type of Feng Shui is compass people, compass Feng Shui. And they use something like this. This is Feng Shui compass. And they use Feng Shui compass to see the direction of your house or your building or your office. And by the way, I belong to basically Feng Shui using compass. It's called Flying Star Feng Shui that I practice. But once again, as I said in the beginning of this video, there isn't any right or wrong approach to Feng Shui. It's all personal preference. So important thing is, you need to know, just there are three types of Feng Shui, basically black hat, form, and compass. That's my way of classification. So different book authors may call different name. But basically those are three basic approaches. And you need to know which type you like. Then you can hire Feng Shui consultant who practices that style. And you can enjoy reading books where the author Feng Shui is your favorite type. So just pick the style that you like, and in my future videos, I will explain those three types in detail. Okay, so much for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until I see you next time, I'm wishing you lots of happiness and success. じゃあまた。さようなら。